I think we just, oh, not number one, the next question. List one reason you might not want to talk about the average and/or standard deviation. I think we just answered that. Because exactly, Anna, when you have highly skewed data, the average gets pulled towards the outliers, therefore might not be representative. Yeah, it looks like most of my friends have 400 or fewer friends, but the average is at 470, implying that the normal amount of friends is 470 when it's actually maybe kind of lower than that. So that's a problem with skewed data, especially highly skewed data. I was not expecting this kind of skew with my data. I encourage you guys, check your Facebook accounts for the same thing. If you care, you might not care, that's totally fine too. So how do you deal with it if you have highly skewed data and the average might be suspect? Well, here's one way I suggested. I said, okay, this was at the time I checked this on January 26th of this year. I had 673 Facebook friends on my account. So the first thing I asked is, what percentage of friends in my sample have above? Because that's what we're trying to check. My friends have more friends than me. So if you use the number 673 and you go back to my sample, what percentage have more? A vote for 22%. A second. All in favor. A third. All in favor of 22%. Jen, explain, please, if you would.
There was 13 people on your list that had more than 673.
So what she did, it's a little painstaking. It's a little painstaking. You have to kind of go through and count. Or, if you're feeling saucy, you can use Excel with that COUNTIF command. That's one way you can do it. You can use Excel, that COUNTIF command I showed you guys on one of the prereq quizzes a couple weeks ago. That works, because I also gave you a digital copy of this. Here's something else you could do. I didn't show you this yet. It just came to me when you pick the TI up, Jen. There is a sort command in your TIs. I had forgotten about this because I use Excel so much nowadays. But if you go to your TIs and you go to the Stat Edit button, like you go to edit like you're getting ready to put data in. Do you see these two right here, sort A and sort D?
Yes.
What that'll do is actually take the data in a list and sort it either ascending or descending. So you might want to go, I would imagine descending in this case. If you pick number 3, sort descending, and then tell it which list to sort. Mine's L3, I'm guessing you guys are L1. It'll say done. And then if you go back to your list and look, everything's now in order. So now you can just go through the list and count which ones are greater than 673. Does that make sense? So now when you go back to edit, L3 is now in order. Descending, because I did it descending because I'm trying to figure out which ones have more than 673. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. I got 13, is that right?
Yeah, but I got somewhere in here.
Oh, when you did the sort?
Yeah.
You gotta tell it which list to sort, Jen. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh crap, I just erased the data point. You gotta hit sort.
Okay.
I hit the wrong thing, so look at that here. And then tell it which list to sort. L3 in this case, or your L1. And it should say done at that point, and everything's in order.
How do you return it to the original?
How do you...
Return your sorted data to the original?
You can't. That's a good question. How do you return your sorted data to the original? You can't. There is no Control-Z on a TI. You don't need to, though, because it doesn't mess up your graph or your data at all. The TI essentially does this behind the scenes when it's doing all of its calculations anyway, if you do one bar stats on it. So it doesn't mess anything up. Please, Eric.
Sorry, I'm getting an error.
What's your error saying?
Syntax.
Go to it. Where's it taking you? When it gives you a go-to, always go to it. I guarantee that has a go-to.
Well, it says L1, so sort D.
Take the L1 out of the front of that thing. You see where, take a look. You see where you put the list you're sorting? You put it after the sort command, not before. That's the error it's getting.
How do I do that?
Just hit clear and start over again. Please. Oh, I thought I saw it. Madeline, go!
So if you have a frequency in another list, will the sorting screw it up?
This is a great question. If you have yes, it will, unless you put the frequency with it. So you would put in actually L1, L2, sort blah blah L1, L2, and then it will sort them both at the same time. the same way Excel does, because Excel though asks you, it says, do you want to continue with your selection or use the ones next to it? It does the same thing. So you don't do that very often in here though, because usually everything's already in order in your lists. But yes, it can, to answer your question. Very good. Very good. Good? We'll get it at the break, Eric. We'll get it at the break. It's not that crucial because you can either, here's two better solutions. Number one, count the original data set. Number two, use the video that I linked a couple weeks ago on how to do it in Excel. That's the much better solution. This is just the third. Dane, go ahead.
Another way I did it,
Good, tell me.
I just went to the window and then changed my X scale to
Clever.
73 and then traced it.
Oh, that's clever. Change your scale so that it puts my friends on one side of the graph and everybody else is on the other side. That's clever. Well done, sir. Very clever. Very clever. So you got at least 4 different solutions. I think the most appealing of them, if you have more time, which you always will have in this class, is to just use Excel. But the other one is you always just count the list yourself, too. That always works. But anyway, I got 13, yes? So 13 of my friends have more friends, well, 13 of my sample have more friends. As a percentage, that's just simply 13 divided by 60, and there's your 22%. Thank you, Jen. Perfect. 22%. That hardly seems like most of my friends. No, it seems like it's a pretty small percentage, yes? But then I have to admit something, and now I'm sneaking this in because I'm a bastard. Because some of you guys are not taking 244. I've mentioned this before. I'm going to continually mention it in this class. Continually mention it in this class. Please look at the paragraph that says, based on a sample of size 60, and go ahead and read that right now. JT,